In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Motorola Razr 2023. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the new Motorola Razr 2023 right here, and thought I'd just pick this up just because it had a significant price drop recently. It was $699 at launch a couple of months ago, but this device is now $499. So just $1 under $500, making this, I believe, one of the most affordable phones as far as foldables go right now. I definitely was interested in this phone. It caught my attention when Metro by T-Mobile was having a deal on it with their trade-ins for like $200. So if you guys don't want to buy this phone outright unlocked, it is available on Metro by T-Mobile. It's available on Cricket Wireless as well. And of course, various other carriers sell this at a deal if you guys obviously trade in your phone or just go ahead and open a new line with them. But this is the Razr 2023. A few specifications on this device. Obviously, this is a foldable device. This is in kind of the flippable category. So this is kind of like one of those old school Razr flips, hence Razr 2023. And with this device, you get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. For a display, we are going to have a 6.9-inch POLED 144 hertz display. This is going to be a full HD display, and this is going to be one of those taller displays, which is not out of the ordinary for a flippable phone. So it is going to have a weird aspect ratio at 22:9. We also have 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of this, 128 gigabytes of internal storage. I believe we can expand storage if I'm not mistaken. We also have Android 13 on this device. We have a decent camera setup on this device as well. It's not going to be anything amazing, but we do have a dual camera setup on the rear camera. That's going to be our 64 megapixel wide camera, and of course our 13 megapixel ultra wide camera as well. 4200 milliamp battery inside of this, a 30-watt wired charge, and of course we can also wirelessly charge this at about 5 watts. So it's nice to see that we have that option on here. But getting this outside of the box, obviously we have our phone right here, which we're going to go ahead and show you guys in a second. Let's go ahead and put that to the side. Very, very minimal unboxing right here. As you guys can tell, we are going to have our data cable, and we are also going to have our setup guide and all of the other papers and warranty inside of there, including the SIM ejector tool as well, but you guys do not care about that. Now, I'm definitely excited about this phone. I was reading that Samsung may be releasing a mid-range foldable device as well, so that's very exciting. I believe this is one of the first though, so really excited about what's to come. Of course, with this, I got the sage green. This comes in summer lilac. It comes in vanilla as well, and I believe a couple other colors, but this is one of the nicer looking colors in my opinion. Sage green looks really sexy. As you guys can see on the back of the device, we have a Razr emblem right here, looking nice and nostalgic. If you guys had a Razr, let me know in the comment section down below. That was like one of the most popular phones at the time. Of course, I was too young to own one of those. Right side of the phone, we are going to have our volume up and down rocker spaced, which is great to see. Below that, we are going to have a fingerprint sensor that doubles as our power button as well. Top of the phone, we're going to have our noise canceling mic. Left side of the phone, we have our SIM tray. Bottom of the phone, we're going to have our noise canceling mic, our USB Type-C port, and of course our speaker. And with this speaker, this is going to be a stereo speaker, so this is actually going to be utilizing the headset up here as a speaker as well. So we have stereo speakers on this, Dolby Atmos audio as well, so it should sound pretty decent. Now, as far as the folding action too, it doesn't look like there's any gap in between this at all, so this is definitely going to keep the dust out. This is a very nice feeling phone as well. I thought this was going to feel a little bit cheaper, but surprisingly this has a pretty substantial build. This is of course going to have an aluminum frame on this, which is nice to see. And of course we have our vegan leather on here as well, which is pretty much just stamped rubber. But yeah, very nice build. I absolutely love that this back is not glossy. Thank you Motorola for not making this a glossy back, so you're not getting fingerprints on this constantly having to wipe it off. All right, y'all. So as you guys can see, that 144 hertz refresh rate is going to be on straight away. It feels nice, honestly. And if we close this phone up, we do get our 1.5-inch screen on the outside of here, which is really cool. And obviously, if you twist the phone, just like all Moto actions on every Motorola phone right now, this is going to open up the camera, and it's going to give us like a little version of our camera on the outside, and you guys can actually take photos right here, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go through this tutorial. So it looks like we can show our palm to capture, we can smile to capture as well, and of course we can just click on the screen and we have a little countdown right here, which is really cool. I know people aren't going to use that too much, but I thought that was pretty cool. We can also go into different modes. As you guys can see, we're in our portrait mode. We have a regular photo mode right here. We have our video mode, which is really cool. And if we open up the phone, we can kind of use this as a camcorder, which is super sick. That's super dope right there. But opening it all the way up, of course, we have our photo, we have our portrait, we have our pro mode. We have a bunch of different features right here, including the 64 megapixel ultra res option. We have night vision, spot color, panorama. We'll do a full review on this when we do the full review. We have dual capture as well, but I've heard this camera wasn't anything amazing. I heard it was okay for the price tag, and looking at this device as a $499 device, honestly, I'm not really having any cons with this so far, but we'll look into that later on. Let's go ahead and close this screen. We do have something called panels, so you guys can go ahead and change the date and the time and everything on here, the animation for it, but it shows us, of course, the date and time, and of course our battery level that we have right now. If we swipe right here, you can add your media right there. So if you're on Spotify, you can pause and play and skip music on there or go back to whatever you're playing. If you swipe up, this is going to be all of our notifications, and click on each notification. Just go ahead and click on it and it will actually expand, which is really cool that we can do this on such a tiny display. Going over another one, we also have our weather, which I put on here, which is super cool to see. Getting a little cold in California over here. And of course, to get our settings, we swipe down and we have things like Wi-Fi. Of course, we have Bluetooth, we have airplane mode, we have our ringer or vibrate on here, or silent if you want to go ahead and switch that on. Also with our flashlight right here, once we click that, just so you don't flash it in your face, it gives you a little countdown and it turns on like that. Swipe over one more time, we have our hotspot settings, which is pretty crazy to see. Of course, our battery saver mode, our NFC, and I believe you can add some other stuff to that, which is pretty cool. Really awesome stuff just on this little 1.5 inch panel right here. Really cool to see that this phone is only 500 bucks, and I'm excited to see all of the other mid-range phones that come out in the future though. But obviously for the hardened Motorola users right here, we can use all of those other features just when the display is open. Of course, we have chop for flash as well. So we have all those little moto actions in here as well. Really nice to see all that. And the specifications on this are actually looking pretty decent. The last thing I wanted to go ahead and do is take a look at the display, watching a YouTube video, and then of course test out the sound on this device as well. The other thing is we also have HDR on here as well. So if you're watching a video that is HDR capable, you guys can go ahead and turn that on. And of course, we have a downscaled 2160p 60 frames per second. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this video looks. So I'd say the video actually looks pretty great, especially for $499. Already seeing that this device is a foldable display as well, it's even more impressive that this display is this bright and vivid, and it looks really nice. So anybody that's kind of used to a mid-range phone display, this looks really good. And seeing that it's on a foldable, even better. And last but not least, we're going to take a look at the speakers on this device. As you guys know, we have a speaker at the bottom of the device, but we also have a headset right there that's going to double as a speaker. So let's go ahead and test out the speaker, see how it is. Okay, so we have a very loud speaker on this device. I believe the bass is fine. It's not super overpowering either. So you guys are going to get a really good sound from this. And if you guys are used to mid-range devices, obviously nothing's going to change here. This is a very decent speaker. So after everything I've seen with the Motorola Razr, just for the first few hours of taking a look at this, I'm actually very, very impressed with this device. I think it was a great move for Motorola to bring this device down from $700 to $500 or $499. This is definitely a device that I can recommend for $499, just playing with it for a little bit. I am going to do the full review, so if you want what all of that entails, obviously stay tuned, hit the notification bell and subscribe so you guys can get all of those videos. But so far, absolutely impressed. This is looking like one of the best deals out there for a foldable phone device. Obviously, there may be a few issues with this device, and we're going to go over those in the full review. Some of the things that I'm kind of weary about is the camera and low light and the video and stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and look at that in the full review. But I'm excited to go even deeper into this device. If you guys have used this device, or if you guys have some thoughts and opinions on this, of course, let me know in the comment section down below. But I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. This has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.